Yo, what's going on, crypto traders? Muro here. Hope you're all fine. Yo, in this video, I want to speak about BTC, the recent price action in the context of supply and demand. Because, as you know, I suggested to long this demand zone here because I expected BTC to at least bounce on this demand zone and possibly even go a bit higher. And what happened is, yes, BTC bounced on it and it looked good, but today I completely missed the move today. I wasn't home and I didn't trade today, but what happened today is BTC failed to go up and broke down. So I decided to look at it and yes, let's see what happens. Actually, guys, let's use the replay function from here, from where we started too long. I will try to not make this video too long, so let's mark this supply zone here. This is obvious supply zone, guys. Hold on. This is the last up candle that led to this lower low, right? Drop, base, drop. So we can expect BTC to have resistance here, which we did. That's why I said 9-1 is the range to watch. And what happened is BTC, after touching our demand zone twice and taking out the stops here, also started to rally. And when you see BTC rallies like this, guys, and you want to long BTC and you miss to long it, you should look for demand zones. So we have a demand zone here, actually. Rally, base, rally. Okay, so let's mark this demand zone here. And demand zone is the last down candle before the move that led to the higher high. So after this here, this higher high, so this was the last down candle, right? This is how I determine my demand zones. And as you see, BTC did visit that demand zone, so you could have taken the trade with a stop simply below. I know this is hindsight right now, but when I post trades, I mainly trade like this. I trade demand zones, supply zones, and if you go back on my timeline, you will see that I did mainly trade candles like this, you know, zones like this. This is rally, base, rally, and price visits the demand zone again. Then you can put your stop below the demand zone and even use a tight stop, and then yeah, price starts to rally up from there. Hold on, let me make this one here a bit wider. This is our supply zone. Supply means there is sellers, guys. This range will high likely act as strong resistance, as mentioned. So yep, price did reach that range, and on its way it made this demand zone as well. I will mark this one here completely as demand zone because I want to go into the smaller time frame. Then I'm gonna look exactly where the demand zone could be. Okay, let's go into the 10-minute time frame, guys. Rally, okay, yeah. Demand zone, rally, base. This is demand zone. This last down candle, higher high, price revisits the demand zone, higher high, and then we have a new demand zone here. Price makes a higher high, revisits the demand zone, and reaches the supply zone, which is resistance. And let's see what happens next. Okay, price broke through this demand zone, so this is no longer valid. That demand zone had no more value, so I did remove it. Just like this one, price broke through this, so this is not valid anymore, invalidated. But what we have here now, guys, is we have a new supply zone. This actually is our new supply zone here, this last up candle and the high wick, and drop, base, drop. We also have a supply zone here. Okay, this supply zone has been invalidated, and we can mark this as demand zone. Invalidated, price broke above it. But guys, you have seen how long this supply zone acted as resistance, right? So this is why we mark them on the chart, so you can try to short BTC here with a stop above it, and as you see, BTC went down first, so it's always important to consider those ranges. We have a new supply zone here. This is a bearish engulfing structure. I consider those bearish engulfing structures or bullish engulfing structures as strong supply and demand zones. So I did mark this here as supply zone, as a new one. We already have this 1 hour supply zone, this big one, but this one will be important to watch. Okay, price did visit our new demand zone here, guys, and we can target this supply zone here. Okay, we have a small supply zone, as you see here. We can target that supply zone with a stop. Okay, not a good R. Actually, we don't need to take that small trade. Risk reward was not good, and also it would have been stopped out here. But we have something important here now, guys. We have, this is invalidated. This is the first thing because price went below it, right? But we have a supply zone, which is now also important to watch. This one here, this supply zone was strong, led to the break of the demand zone of the previous one. So it's important to watch this. And what happened is price went above that supply zone immediately, but we have this demand zone here now, guys. This demand zone here, because look at this rally based rally, we can assume that this is a strong strong demand zone because it broke this supply zone easily. Price rallied hard, so we can assume that this range is really important demand zone. So I did mark it here. So this last down candle before this rally that broke this supply zone, okay, and we can remove this supply zone because it has been invalidated. Price broke above it. And I will just put a long position here and target the highs. So let's see what happens. Yep. This supply zone here now acts as resistance, as you can see, guys. And this has been invalidated now, but this is still valid because price has not broken above it, right? Also, we have a demand zone here. Rally, base, rally. And it has been invalidated. New supply zone. Resistance, as you see. Also, guys, we have this new demand zone that we could have marked. Although this lower one is still active and still valid, we can just throw this one on top of it. Okay. And bam. Price shows reaction. This one here is a new supply zone, by the way, here. Bearish engulfing structure. Resistance for the price. So when you long this one, this is your first trouble area. But then price breaks above it, so it's invalidated. And even breaks above this one after a bit struggle. And then this supply zone gets tested again and price breaks down. But we have a supply zone here, guys. Demand zone, sorry, demand zone here. Rally, base, rally, right? So this is an important zone to consider as demand. And as you see, I mean, this video is for the scalpers among you. Maybe you can learn something if you watch it about supply and demand. Personally, when I have time and when I'm home, sometimes I like to trade these supply and demand methods, but mainly because I have less time, I mainly don't trade these, except on swing trades, as the swing long trade that I have taken around 8.5 was based on demand on the daily time frame. So supply and demand works in all time frames, and I think it works even better on the higher time frame. But this video is only to show you that it also works in a smaller time frame, like we are in the 10-minute here, right? So supply and demand, guys, they are like magnets to each other. As you see, price here, supply gets rejected, demand goes back above. So here are the buyers, and then the sellers step in, and this is how it works. You see this? Test it again, immediate reaction, supply zone, immediate reaction again. And again. Of course, Bitcoin came with that Darth Maul candle, which was obvious, guys. Of course, it had to do this. Alright, now this supply zone is no longer valid. This one is no longer valid. BTC took all the highs, ran the stops, but this supply zone acted as a resistance. As you see, BTC failed to break it or close above it, whatever, and it wicked below this demand zone as well. But as you see, it kinda reacted on this demand zone here. Of course, we have supply here, supply zone, drop, base, drop, base, drop. So rejected, it didn't even went into that. And then yeah, we have supply, a demand here. This is demand. Forgot to mark this. Demand zone, rally, base, rally, and currently I think we are real time now. Yeah, this is where we at now, guys. So this has been invalidated here in the context, I mean, from supply and demand perspective. It can still act as support and resistance, but in this video I only wanted to look at supply and demand, okay? So currently we have this demand zone here, and BTC could still show reaction and bounce, go a bit higher until it visits this new supply zone that has been formed here. And yeah, if you are still long from 8.5 and didn't sell somewhere around 9.1, guys, I suggest to at least move your stops to break even to 8.5, because it doesn't look the best. And yeah, as long as we stay above here 8,600, because some people would draw this demand zone like this. Okay, some people maybe would draw this base, they would take the lowest wick. So as long as we stay above 8,600, yeah, 8,620, BTC could bounce and possibly even continue to go higher from here, but you should be careful. I suggest to make your stops below 8,600 so that you don't yeah, lose money, guys. Okay, don't get wrecked, stay careful. I hope BTC bounces here. Yeah, that's it. Hope you liked it, and see you soon. Bye bye.